Imagine stepping back in time to the Roman Empire, a time of emperors and gladiators. Not with a time machine, but by visiting the ruins of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata. These are not just piles of old stones. These are the remains of once vibrant towns, frozen in time by a catastrophic volcanic eruption. They offer us a unique glimpse into the past. We can walk the streets where Romans walked, and it's a stark reminder of the power of nature. Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata were thriving Roman towns, located in the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, a seemingly dormant volcano. Pompeii was a bustling center of trade and commerce. Herculaneum, a seaside resort for wealthy Romans. Torre Annunziata, a busy port city. Then, on August 24, 79 AD, Vesuvius erupted, spewing forth a deadly cloud of ash and pumice, and the people of these towns faced their doom. The eruption of Vesuvius was a cataclysmic event. It buried Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata under tons of volcanic debris, preserving them in a way that no one could have imagined. The once vibrant towns became silent tombs, frozen in time by the very disaster that destroyed them. For centuries they lay forgotten, buried beneath the earth. Then, in the 18th century, they were rediscovered, unveiling a lost world to astonished eyes. The people of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata lived in a land of contrasts. Towering above them was Mount Vesuvius, a constant reminder of nature's power. But its slopes were also fertile, covered in vineyards and olive groves. Life had a rhythm, dictated by the seasons and the volcano. They were Romans, but with their own unique culture, influenced by their proximity to the sea and the volcano. They worshipped Roman gods, but also local deities. Their lives were a mix of the familiar and the exotic. The Bay of Naples was a jewel. Its sparkling waters attracted the wealthy and powerful. Emperors built villas on its shores. Merchants traded goods from across the empire. It was a time of peace and prosperity. Pompeii was a city on the move. Its streets, paved with stone, were always crowded. Merchants hawked their wares. Children played. The air was filled with the sounds of life. The Forum was the heart of the city. Here, citizens gathered to discuss politics, trade gossip, and conduct business. Temples to the gods lined the square. Their columns reached towards the heavens. The houses of Pompeii were a mixture of grand and humble. The wealthy lived in luxurious villas, adorned with frescoes and mosaics. The less fortunate resided in more modest dwellings. Life in Pompeii was vibrant and varied. The people worked hard, but they also knew how to enjoy themselves. Herculaneum, nestled at the foot of Vesuvius, was a haven for the wealthy. Its villas, overlooking the sea, were opulent and grand. Torre Annunziata, a bustling port city, was a gateway to the wider world. Ships laden with goods from across the empire docked in its harbor. The streets were a riot of color and noise. The sea was a constant presence, shaping their culture and their livelihoods. Fishing, trade, and shipbuilding were important industries. Little did they know that their world was about to change forever. The morning of August 24th, 79 AD, dawned like any other in Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata. The sun rose over the Bay of Naples, casting a golden glow on the bustling towns. Shopkeepers opened their stalls, preparing for the day's trade. Citizens went about their daily routines, unaware of the impending doom. Then, at around midday, the earth trembled. A low rumble echoed through the air, growing louder with each passing moment. People stopped in their tracks, their eyes drawn to the summit of Vesuvius. A plume of smoke and ash billowed into the sky, rising like a giant mushroom cloud. The eruption of Vesuvius had begun. As the eruption intensified, a terrifying phenomenon occurred. A pyroclastic flow, a superheated avalanche of gas, ash, and rock, surged down the slopes of Vesuvius at incredible speed. This deadly river of fire engulfed everything in its path. Herculaneum, being closer to the volcano, was the first to fall victim to the pyroclastic flow. The town was buried in an instant, its inhabitants entombed beneath meters of volcanic debris. Pompeii, though farther away, was not spared. The once thriving city was transformed into a desolate wasteland. The eruption of Vesuvius raged for over 24 hours. During that time, it ejected millions of tons of volcanic material into the atmosphere. Ash rained down on the region, blanketing everything in a thick, grey shroud. When the eruption finally subsided, the landscape surrounding Vesuvius was unrecognizable. The once fertile countryside was buried under meters of ash and pumice. The towns of Pompei, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata had vanished. The eruption of Vesuvius was a disaster of unimaginable proportions. But in its destructive fury, it also preserved a snapshot of Roman life. Centuries passed. The memory of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata faded into legend. Then, in the 16th century, a chance discovery reawakened the world to their existence. Workers, digging a canal, stumbled upon ancient walls and artifacts. Whispers spread that this might be the site of Pompeii. It wasn't until the 18th century that serious excavation began. Excitement rippled through Europe as news of the discoveries spread. The early excavations were a mixture of awe and trepidation. The archaeologists were pioneers, venturing into a world untouched for centuries. They were the first to walk the streets of Pompeii since that fateful day in 79 AD. Each shovelful of earth revealed something new. A house, a shop, a street. The city began to emerge from its tomb. The past was coming to life before their eyes. The task was immense. What the archaeologists found astonished them. The city was frozen in time, a snapshot of Roman life from a bygone era. The houses, though buried, were remarkably well preserved. Frescoes still adorned the walls, their colors vibrant after centuries underground. They found shops with their wares still on display. They found bakeries with loaves of bread, preserved by the heat of the eruption. It was a glimpse into the everyday lives of the people of Pompeii. But the excavations also revealed the tragedy of that day. The archaeologists uncovered the skeletal remains of the city's inhabitants. The true magic of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata lies not just in their ruins, but in the stories they tell. These are not just empty buildings. They are homes, shops, and public spaces frozen in time. They whisper to us of the people who lived and loved within their walls. Take, for instance, the House of the Vetii in Pompeii. This grand dwelling, once home to wealthy merchants, is a treasure trove of art and architecture. Its frescoes, depicting scenes from mythology and daily life, are remarkably well preserved. They offer us a glimpse into the tastes and aspirations of the Roman elite. Then there's the Villa of the Papyri in Herculaneum. The art of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata is not confined to museums. It's everywhere you look, in the mosaics that adorned their floors, the frescoes that decorated their walls, even in the graffiti that covered their buildings. These works of art are not just beautiful. They're informative. They tell us about the gods the Romans worshipped, the stories they told, the things they valued. They remind us of the human cost of the disaster and the fragility of life. Walking the streets of Pompeii is like stepping back in time. You can almost hear the clatter of chariot wheels on the stone pavements, the shouts of vendors hawking their wares, the laughter of children playing. The Forum, once the heart of the city, is still an impressive sight. The amphitheater, where gladiators once fought to the death, is a reminder of the Romans' love of spectacle and entertainment. The public baths offer a glimpse into their pursuit of leisure and hygiene. Even the more mundane aspects of Roman life are on display. Unearthing these buried treasures is only half the battle. Preserving them for future generations is an ongoing challenge, a race against time and the elements. The very forces that preserved Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata for centuries now contribute to their slow decay. Teams of experts work tirelessly, battling weather, erosion, and even the footsteps of millions of visitors. They employ cutting-edge technology alongside traditional methods, painstakingly cleaning, stabilizing, and restoring these fragile remnants of a lost world. The dedication of these modern-day guardians of the past is unwavering. The challenges are many. Exposure to the elements takes its toll. Rain, wind, and even sunlight can erode the ancient structures, fading the vibrant colors of frescoes and weakening the mortar holding walls together. Vegetation, too, poses a threat, its roots burrowing into cracks and crevices. Then there's the sheer number of visitors. Millions flock to these sites each year, eager to experience the wonders of the past. While their enthusiasm is appreciated, their very presence can be damaging. But the fight continues. It's a constant struggle, a balancing act between making these sites accessible to the public and ensuring their preservation. But there's hope. New technologies, such as three-dimensional laser scanning, are being employed to create detailed digital records of the sites. These digital models not only aid in preservation efforts, but also allow us to virtually explore the sites. We can walk through digitally reconstructed houses, almost hear the echoes of Roman laughter, and gain a deeper understanding of their lives. The story of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata is far from over. The skeletal remains of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata stand as silent sentinels. They bear witness to the awesome power of nature and the enduring spirit of humanity. These ruined cities, once teeming with life, now serve as poignant reminders of our own mortality. Yet within these ruins lies a story of resilience, a story of a civilization that thrived in the shadow of a volcano, unaware of its impending fate. The people of these towns lived, loved, and built lives for themselves, leaving behind a legacy etched in stone. We walk among their homes, their shops, their temples, and we are humbled. Their laughter, now silent, still echoes through the centuries. Visiting Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata is not just an archaeological expedition. It's a journey through time. It's a chance to step back into a world frozen in time, to walk in the footsteps of the Romans. Imagine the bustle of the marketplace, the clatter of chariot wheels, the murmur of conversations in shops. Hear the laughter of children playing, oblivious to the lurking danger. Their demise offers us a gift perspective. They remind us of life's preciousness and the importance of cherishing every moment. The ruins of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata are more than just tourist attractions. They are a global heritage, a testament to the ingenuity and artistry of a lost civilization. It is our duty to preserve these fragile remnants for future generations, to support the archaeologists, conservators, and historians who dedicate their lives to unraveling the mysteries of these ancient cities. Let us ensure that the stories of Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata continue to be told with the respect and reverence they deserve.